A story, Mama used to say. I tell you a story at the end of day. And now for story time, children, no delay. Mama used to say, it's time for Tata story time.
This is the story of the Sultan, his queen, a chef, his wife, and the meat of the tongue. A sultan was throwing a big party. It had to be a big party because the sultan liked things to be noticeable and outlandish. The feast for the party was the vastest spread of different large plates of food you could ever see. All of the gifts had to be massive to fill up all the space in the sultan's new ginormous palace. The sultan's wife was a petite woman with small features that made her pretty, but not to the sultan's liking. The sultan would prefer his wife to be a bigger woman with bigger features.
My queen, look at all the food I had prepared. Is there anything you want to eat to make you full of content?
I'm not hungry. Nothing here is that appealing.
Oh, what can I do to make you full and happy so I can be happy?
Just let me be and I will let you know when I'm happy for you to be near me again.
Oh, some of the chef.
The sultan was displeased that his wife didn't find anything she liked for the feast. And he felt that the feast had been a failure and he wanted to tell the chef immediately. The chef, not being aware of the sultan's mood, appeared proud of the feast with a puffed up chest. Your Majesty, I hear you summoned me with compliments for the chef.
I have comments, not compliments.
Before the sultan could launch into telling off the chef, he's distracted by one of the guests making their way through the crowd.
Who is that?
That's my wife. I was told I could bring a +1 as a guest.
She is so big.
Yes, she's very proud of her size, and I love that she's happy with who she is.
How? How could I have a small wife and you have a large, big wife full of life? Tell me your secret immediately.
You really want to know?
Yes, tell me immediately or I will terminate your employment.
Oh, let's not be hasty. Look, it's very simple. I feed my wife the meat of the tongue.
I would have never guessed that.
Works like a charm. It really keeps her content.
The meat of the tongue, that's all?
Every day.
Well, I will do the same. Warriors, find me the fattest tongue of all the animals in the kingdom.
He found ox tongue, pig's tongue, aardvark tongue, giraffe's tongue, hippo tongue, koala tongue. You get the idea. And then they put all of the tongues on horse-drawn carts and took it up to the palace.
Oh, wow, chef. Make sure it's cooked to perfection for the queen's next meal.
When the tongues were presented to the queen, she responded by saying, "Ew! I am not eating that!"
Oh, but I want you to look so beautiful and big, like the chef's wife. Please, my queen, eat the tongues.
Not a chance. If you like the chef's wife so much, why don't you ask her to come and live here and I will go live with the chef?
Yes, great idea, my queen. The chef knows where his bread is buttered. I pay his wages. I'm sure he will agree.
So, the queen went to live with the chef, and the chef's wife came to live in the palace. The sultan proceeded to feed the chef's wife all the different tongues imaginable. But a strange thing began to happen. The chef's wife began to lose her appetite in the palace, and she became thinner and lost weight. The queen, on the other hand, was living a different life with the chef and was much happier. As time went on, the sultan grew impatient.
Return the chef's wife. She's no longer of interest to me. Now she's looking so small and miserable. I want my queen back.
But when the queen returned, she was a much bigger, cheerful, and more bouncy version of the woman than the sultan remembered.
How has the chef made you look so beautiful?
The chef is a different man than you are.
How? I want to know. You must tell me. I want to know.
Well, the chef is attentive. When he came home from cooking all day in the palace, he still took time to tell me silly stories that made me giggle. Scary stories that sent shivers down my spine. Stories from around the world that opened up my mind and my heart to new possibilities. He talked to me often, and often he'd tell me how beautiful I am. He always took the time to speak to me with so much love, humor, appreciation, and compassion.
Is that what he meant by the meat of the tongue?
In that moment, the Sultan finally understood, and he thought about how he may be more like the chef.
I like your hairband. It's beautiful.